Hey everybody, my name is Cole. I'm one of the flight instructors here at US Flight Co. And today I'm going to be talking you guys through an instrument rating. Today we're going to be going over what is an instrument rating, and we're going to talk about what we need to be eligible for an instrument rating, and then also how do we keep our instrument rating current once we eventually get it. So to start it off, what is an instrument rating? Basically allows you to fly an IMC, and what that stands for is Instrument Meteorological Conditions. And you can think of that as basically flying in clouds, flying in fog. You just don't have any reference to the ground, basically. It also allows you to fly on an instrument flight plan. So we can file an instrument flight plan, and that will allow you to fly under instrument flight rules. We call that IFR. And that's just a little bit different from the visual flight rules that you'll be accustomed to as a private pilot. It also is going to allow you to fly in Class Alpha airspace, and you can pretty much think of that as flying above 18,000 feet MSL, or mean sea level. That's where a lot of those airliners fly, up in that Class Alpha airspace. So first thing we're going to talk about is the eligibility required to get our instrument rating. So first thing we need is to have our private pilot certificate. The next thing we need is to have English proficiency. So that means we're able to read, write, understand, and speak English well. And then if we're good there, we'll go to the ground training that we need. So that's all going to be listed out if we open up to our FAR, or Federal Aviation Regulations. It's going to be in Part 6165 Bravo. It's going to list out all of the requirements and the aeronautical knowledge that you'll need to be well versed in before they pass you on an instrument check ride. And when you go through the training here, we'll get you comfortable in all that knowledge, so you'll be able to understand and explain all that knowledge to a great ability. And yeah, from there we'll go on to endorsements. There's going to be a couple different endorsements that you'll need from your CFII when you come, and those endorsements will allow you to go eventually take the check ride and get that instrument rating. There's also going to be what's called the IRA written. That's going to be the written test that comes along with the instrument rating. So you're going to go through a home study course, which is up here, or you can do ground training with your CFII, and that's basically going to get you prepared to take that instrument written test. And once you feel prepared enough, you're going to go to one of the testing facilities and go and take that test. They give you about a 2.5 hour test. You only need 70%, so it's a pretty easy test. And then if you go ahead and get that instrument rating or the instrument test done, you get all those endorsements from your CFII, you feel like you're ready to go take that check ride, then your II will send you to go take that check ride and eventually get that instrument rating. Also, before we go take that check ride, there's a couple of pieces of aeronautical experience that we're going to need to have completed before we're able to be eligible for it. So first thing we need is 50 hours of cross-country as pilot in command. That's what PIC is, pilot in command. So as long as you have 50 hours of cross-country, you'll be able to go take it. You're also going to need 40 hours of actual or simulated instrument time. So actual instrument time would mean, hey, you're flying in the clouds and you're in your real plane. You're up outside. You're flying in the clouds. It's kind of hard to get 40 hours of that actual time just because of how the weather is. It's pretty hard to get that, especially now when it's freezing right now. We can't fly in the clouds or we'll get icing. So we get a lot of that time from simulated instrument time. So we have our flight simulator, and we go and do the instrument training there. So we can simulate us flying in clouds up there, and that's how we get a lot of our instrument time required to take the test. And we also need 15 of those hours. We need to be with a CFII for those, just to make sure that we're learning correctly and we're flying in a safe manner. The next thing is 3 hours of training in the preceding 2 months before we go take that check ride. That's just kind of hey, the FAA wants to make sure that you're actually going to be proficient and current before you go take your check ride. Say you have like a couple month wait for your check ride. They want to make sure you're actually still flying within that waiting period, just to make sure you're still safe. Last thing is a 250 nautical mile cross country on an instrument flight plan with different approaches at each airport. So this typically is going to be 3 different airports that you'll fly to. So you'll start at your home airport, go to 2 other ones, and come back. And you need to be on an instrument flight plan for that. So we'll go ahead and send through a flight plan. We'll get it cleared by whoever the approach control we're talking to, and they will. From there, we'll go do that instrument flight plan that we filed. At each airport, we need to have a different type of instrument approach. So one could be like a VOR approach, one could be a GPS approach, one could be an ILS approach. So as long as there are 3 different approaches at each airport, that's what we want in order for this to be correct. And then, yeah, we do that 250 nautical mile cross country. Our experience is going to be done and then we'll go take that check ride. We pass that check ride, we're instrument rated now. But unfortunately, we do still need to stay current in order to make sure we are still safe pilots. Say we haven't flown instrument in a year, it probably wouldn't be safe for us to go and fly in clouds if we haven't done it for a while. So the FAA has put in some rules to make sure that we're staying safe, we're staying current, we're making sure we're staying proficient with our instrument flying skills. So the acronym that we use for this is 6 hits. And what it means is in the preceding 6 months, we need to have 6 instrument approaches. We need to do holding procedures, intercepting procedures, and tracking procedures. So yeah, as long as we are within those preceding 6 calendar months, we've done those 6 instrument approaches. Those 6 instrument approaches can be the same approaches at the same airport. So as long as we are doing those 6 instrument approaches within those 6 calendar months, in addition to our holding, intercepting, tracking procedures, we are considered to be current. And we might need to do a little bit extra to stay proficient, make sure that we're still remaining safe. The more practice, the better. But that's the requirements that the FAA set forth to make sure we are staying current pilots, or current, safe, proficient pilots. So if we do, for whatever reason, let those 6 months lapse, this FAA has set forth a 6-month grace period. So that allows us to do these holding, intercepting, tracking procedures in the 6 months preceding the expiration. As long as we go up with like a CFII or someone that's going to, a safe pilot, someone that's proficient and current in their currency items, and we can go up and do those approaches with them, and if we complete that, then we're good to go. We're nice and current again, and then we can start exercising our instrument rating again. Now, for whatever reason, if we do let those additional 6-month grace period lapse, we're in that span of a year now where we haven't been current, then we need to do something called an instrument proficiency check. So the exacts of what is entailed in the IPC is going to be in the instrument ACS, the Airman Certification Standards, and that inside that we'll have everything that will be on that IPC. But it's going to be similar to an instrument check ride. You're going to go up, you're going to go through a couple items. If the person doing the IPC, which could be like a CFII, they deem you're still a proficient, safe pilot, they'll put that in your logbook. Then you have that proof you did your IPC. You'll be current again, and you'll be good to go. Continue exercising that instrument rating. So, thank you guys for joining. This everything you need to know about an instrument rating. Once again, my name is Cole, and thanks for watching.